Okay, so I think so this is my folder that has all of my lined papers in it for journaling. So anything with lines on it, and I use these a lot. I often cut them up, which is why I have so many little pieces in the front, and then I can just go in here and grab any little lined pieces that I want to do journaling on. So that's what's in that folder. This folder is for papers with text or numbers on them. So I have a bunch back here that are just random kind of text papers. This one has big bold numbers. This one has text kind of in the shape of cards. There's a whole bunch back here that have just different kind of text. I also have some musical paper up front. Here's some different ones that have numbers on them. So can't say I grab for this a lot of the time, but I do use some of the like plain text paper ripped up and stuff like that. Then I have a category for random themed paper. So I have some travel themed paper up front here. I have this camera themed paper. I have this paper that has clotheslines on it that I keep meaning to use for a laundry page. So anything that's kind of themed, this is where I keep it. It also has some birthday themed paper, and there's ice cream cones. There is there's some calendar paper, and also some kind of little boy themed paper. Like there's something that's very park-ish. It could go in the bold, bright geometrics because it's something that's man-made, but I think I'm more likely to use it for a park page, and I know it's there. And I have a couple that are like, yeah, there's like little tugboats and trains and arrows and like boyish stuff. So the thing is a lot of papers could go in multiple spots, and you just need to decide where you're most likely to go looking for them and go from there. Now I also have a Christmas folder, and I have a Halloween folder, and I think that pretty much covers all my folders. So then the only other thing I wanted to do was to be able to kind of show you, and then I just have this little plastic bag full of like tags and little journaling spots and stuff that I just keep stuck in the front. Oh, and in the back, I don't have them in there right now, but in the back I also sometimes have two folders that have all my letters, a bunch of letter stickers, the 12 by 12 sheet letter stickers in them. So now what I thought I'd do is try and give you an example of how I use some of the folders. So for example, this page that I was working on the other Monday night about Dale and I went to the traditional folder. The title is Remember When, and so the idea behind it is kind of, you know, back in the day, remembering. And so I wanted something that kind of had a sense of nostalgia to it, which is why I went and chose the background kind of reddish picture here that kind of looks like old wallpaper. And same with this, it's kind of flowing and organic, but a little bit man-made because it's a repetitive pattern, and it kind of has a bit of a sense of nostalgia to it, which is why I chose it. So that's an example of something that would come out of the traditional. One of the folders that I go to most frequently is my bold, bright geometrics, because I have two little boys. So for example, this page that actually has two 6 by 12 halves to it, has a really crazy, bright, bold, geometric pattern in the paper as the background. And I wanted that because the whole mood of this page, the whole story behind the page is crazy boys, crazy life. And so something that was bold and bright and geometric that represents boys and how wild and crazy they are was perfect for that page. So, let's see. I also have Here's another one that's a bold, bright, geometric, where I thought I looked at the pictures, I thought about the story that I wanted to tell and the mood of the page, and what I decided was I wanted to portray motion and energy. And so I picked a chevron paper as the background, which does exactly that. I also kept with the theme and did a whole bunch of arrows and stuff to convey the motion of the aircraft that Nate was watching. And even though I used some cloud in the background, you can tell it's still very geometric and boyish and energetic, because the clouds have a grid pattern on them, which is something that's man-made. So even the organics that I used were kind of man-made. So that paper, this one I thought a lot about the mood of the page before I actually put it together. Here's another one where I thought about the mood of the page when I picked the papers, and it's a little more, yeah, it's softer, it's more subtle. The story is a little more delicate, and talking about how much fun we had, but how we were there to support Annalisa. So the pink and the yellow and the organic patterns go really well with it. Now here's one where you can really tell that the mood, that I thought about the mood. So the title is Fall Fun, which you don't really think of fall in terms of bright, bold colors like pinks and yellows and greens and purples. But the story, which says, Nana came to visit for Nate's second birthday, and you could not have asked for more beautiful weather for early fall in Cold Lake. We spent hours at the park. So the idea is that it was kind of an uncharacteristic fall, especially for Cold Lake. And when you see that, then those bold kind of summery colors make the title fall into place. So something that can maybe seem off can actually really tie into the theme of your page sometimes. So hopefully this will help you kind of put the ideas together for the different types of categories, and give you an idea of how to store your paper. Thanks.